What is going on, guys? It's Justin from the J Media back with another video. Today, Torvo was nice enough to send us something right here, and this is the Torvo Dashcam front and rear. You can actually purchase this on Amazon, so I'll leave a link in the description of this video if you guys want to check it out. But what we'll be doing is I'll be unboxing it for you guys, showing what's in here, as well as installing it on my vehicle. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up and see what we have here. So this is the Torvo Dashcam. Let's go and open up the box. So very nice and sleek packaging. We do have both front and rear dash cams, 4K in the front, 1080p in the rear. Yeah, let's go ahead and unbox it, see what it comes with. All right. So, little instruction manual. I believe the two cameras are over here. Nice little plastic pry tool. Let's go ahead and unbox and see what we have here. I'm guessing this is probably the front camera. So we do have, actually no, not the camera, the wiring. So it plugs into your cigarette lighter. Very cool. And then over here we have the actual camera. Alright, so what we have here is the front camera. Shoots in 4K quality, gonna be nice and crisp. Attached by 3M tape on the windshield. So what's pretty nice about this is it stays on pretty firm. You know, with some of them that use suction cup, when it gets too hot it does fall off. All your controls and buttons are on the bottom. That's where you plug in your charging ports, your memory card. So yeah, let's get to installing it. Alright, so first things first, you're going to go ahead and attach your dash cam. So I always recommend, since this is going to go on windshield, you want to position it nicely right somewhere in the middle. You can kind of bend this part just so you can kind of adjust it accordingly. So get the nice angle, stick it on your windshield, and then the wiring will be going in on the side of the dash cam. Alright, so before I actually hook everything up and tuck away the wires, I always like to plug it in, make sure everything works. So that's your front dash cam. We have the rear dash cam, and they connect to the side right here. And then we have it connected to the cigarette lighter, so that should power it up whenever I turn on the car to accessory mode. Alright, so first start up. And here we have the front camera, and then you can see my face because that's the rear camera. So yeah, everything works. So now let's go ahead and install it. Alright, so the very first step is I'm gonna have this right here, and I'm gonna feed the wires to the back of my seat. In this case, I'm installing it on my S2000, but the same steps would apply for any car, whether it's a 4-door or 2-door car. In my case, I'm gonna hide the wiring behind the seats, get it tucked right here beneath all these weather stripping, and you can remove this piece as well as a plastic trim. They did provide a plastic trim remover, which makes the job a lot easier. So to pop off any trimming you need, you essentially want to hide the wire, tuck it all the way through the weather stripping, all the way through here, because you're going to feed it to the dash cam right in the middle. Alright, so before you go ahead and stick on your dash cam. Always a great idea to wipe down your windshield. I'm just going to spray some Windex on the spot where I'm going to be sticking it at, because you want to make sure that, you know, sticks nice, there's no residue. Alright, so one thing I'll recommend is good to have it on, because whenever you stick it on, it's going to be stuck on there. So the reason I have my car on is just so I can adjust it accordingly, see how I want it. You know, is this good or is that good? So make sure it's where you want it to be. I think this looks pretty good for me. I might move it down a little bit to show a little bit more of the hood, just like this. And then you can go ahead and peel back the 3M double-sided tape. And then pretty much permanently stick it on. So let's go ahead and put it right here. Apply some pressure. Okay, it should be on pretty good. And then now you can adjust it up or down. So I want to show a little bit of the hood. So I think this is perfect. And here we have it. So it looks good. Now what I'm going to do is, I have a little bit of excess wire. Make sure to tuck it in here so it's nice and tidy. So it's really nice that they provided this plastic pry tool just to kind of tuck it in. But yeah. Also, another cool thing is Torvo did provide your memory SD card, micro SD, which a lot of companies, they don't, so you have to buy it separately. We do have a, I believe, 64 megabyte memory card in here, and this is for the front, and then we have another one that will be attaching the rear later on. Alright, so for the rear, it's pretty nice because you can pretty much just spin the rear camera and attach it. In my case, it's a convertible, so it's a little tricky. I might have to put it maybe somewhere like right here on the back. But, you know, with a regular car, you just stick it to the back glass, just like you did on the windshield. And just like the fronts, I would recommend pretty much having it switched on, just so you can adjust, you know, how high or low you want it to be in the rear. Alright, and there you have it. We have a nice rear view. Alright, let's go for a little test drive, and then I'll show you guys the footage from our camera. Alright, and this is how the dash cam looks from the outside. Nice and sleek. So I took some clips during the day. Sun's about to set here in a few minutes, and let's go for a little drive. Alright, so as I wait for it to get a little bit darker, let's just run through some of the specs of the Torvo dash cam. So front and rear, one thing that is pretty cool about this dash cam that is pretty different than some of the other dash cams I've used in the past. It does have wide angle, so I think it says 170-degree wide angles, which is super wide. What that means is you capture a lot more, not just like one lane or two lanes. It literally captures all three lanes, which is pretty awesome. Sun's about to set pretty soon, so once the sun sets, we'll go for another driving clip. It has a low aperture, which means that at night, the night vision is supposed to be really good, so I'm pretty excited to see how clear it is. What I'll do is I'll download the clips, put it for you guys to see, but with 4K footage, it should be pretty crisp. It also does have your speed that you can set up there. You have your date, your time. I always like a good date and night, timestamp, just so, knock on wood, if anything happens, you're able to capture evidence, what day, what time it happened. I'm in insurance, that's what I do for work, and I always recommend everyone who owns a car to have a dash cam, just because it's a peace of mind. If you ever get involved in a car accident, you file a claim, it's nice to know that you have video evidence, because it's always a he say she say situation. Nobody likes to think they're at fault when an accident happens. So with video evidence, you clearly are able to see who's at fault in the event of an accident. They also do have a Torvo app, so if you guys want to monitor it or download clips, you can do it from the app. So the specific model that I have is the Torvo TD3 Dashcam. Comes with the front and rear. Like I said, it's just so crisp, and I'm gonna do a little clip for you guys because sun's about to set. I know on camera it doesn't look too dark, but it's technically about 15 minutes past sunset, so let's go for a nice little drive. So just made it back home. There you have it. We have both daytime as well as nighttime driving clips. Super crisp 4K quality. So again, if you guys want to purchase your Torvo Dashcam, we have the link in the description. You can find it on Amazon as well as on their website. I always recommend a Dashcam to anyone that owns a vehicle. Again, just because you never know. Nobody wants accidents to happen, but when they do, at least you're protected with video evidence. So I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.